Matthew Bailey Media here, and welcome to another 2024 movie review. Now, I gotta be honest, I was a little skeptical about seeing this movie because honestly, I didn't realize it was actually based off of a book series that I apparently this book series was around when I was growing up, but I just never read it, and that is of course Harold and the Purple Crayon. Now, this movie stars Zachary Levi as Harold, obviously, and we also get his two main best friends, Porcupine and Moose, where Moose is actually played by, I forgot the name of the actor, but he's the same actor who was in Free Guy, who played the security guard, Buddy, and I think that's the only movie I know him from. And I can't remember who exactly plays Porcupine, but I know Harold, played by Zachary Levi mainly, and this whole movie centers around him as a grown man now, because in the books he was apparently a little baby / child, and in this movie he's grown up. You know, he's always wanted to know what the real world is like, and the narrator, who is voiced by Alfred Molina in this movie, is sort of, he thinks is his old man in a way, like his father, sort of, but then one day he doesn't hear the narrator narrating anymore, and so he decides to actually use his purple crayon to draw a door to the real world. And once he gets there, he has this mischievous adventure where an evil person tries to steal his crayon for his own evil purposes. That's all I'm gonna say without spoiling the villain's part of the plot in the movie, but he meets some other new friends in the real world, like a mother and her son, who is just like Harold, has a pretty big imagination, and he tries so hard to make his mom happy in her life, and he gets Harold to help with that. And again, they have these mischievous adventures in this movie, and that's pretty much all I'm going to give without spoiling anything. Now, I will admit, I never read the books that are apparently based on this movie, but when I found out that the person who directed the movie, ironically, is the same guy who did the two Rio movies from Blue Sky Studios, so I was curious to see how this movie would end up doing. Now, I will say, is it as good as the Rio films that came out by this director? No, but I still thought it was an interesting movie. I mean, it wasn't as entertaining as I thought it was going to be, but I mean, it still was an interesting movie. And I will say, when I saw the movie, there was a lot of young kids and parents in my theater, so I have a feeling that this movie is going to be like the next Inside Out 2 or Despicable Me 4 in a way, because we basically had every month from June, July, and August, we had 3 different family movies come out. We had, like I said, Inside Out 2 in June, we had Despicable Me 4 at the beginning of July, and now we got Harold and the Purple Crayon for the month of August. So I'm curious to see how well this movie does actually at the box office. I will say though, if this does better than the last movie that Zachary Levi was in, which I believe was Shazam! Fury of the Gods from last year, if this movie somehow does better than that, even with the budget it was given, I would not be surprised if Zachary Levi will actually start doing more kid-friendly family movies from now on than trying to be a superhero. But who knows? We'll see how things go. But in regards to the rest of my thoughts on this movie, again, I thought it was an okay movie, not as entertaining as I thought it would be, but it still was an okay film. But for now, let me give you my rating of the movie. So, for my rating of Harold and the Purple Crayon, like I said, it was an okay film. Thought it could have been a little bit better, but definitely probably won't see it on the best films of the year list. But you may see it on the worst, but even though I thought it was still a decent film, I'm going to give Harold and the Purple Crayon a 3 out of 5. So, an okay film, I must admit, but I still think it's probably not as good as the Rio films that were done by the same director. So, anyways, that's all for now in this movie review, and as always, I will see all of you guys in the next video.